Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weekend Chat with AM and TK.
That's right, everybody. Great to see you.
AM, I can see you also got your haircut. Looks really nice.
You think so? I have to say, I was very excited to finally get rid of the old Corona hairstyle that I've been sporting, my unending ponytail. So it's definitely more manageable. And you, of course, look so glam. Woo! Not that you did before, but I can totally tell you got it done. Tell me, did you have to wear a mask, by the way, when you got your haircut?
Yeah. Yes, me and the hairdresser.
Yeah, everybody wearing masks and gloves, and I mean, and she told me actually that they had just gotten checked the day before. Because I asked her, I was like, "Do I really have to wear this?" I mean, I couldn't. It was so hot, and she's like, "No, no, somebody came in and checked the day before, so you have to wear it."
That's funny you mentioned that because the same happened to my hairdresser on the same day that I went, and it was on Wednesday. She told me the inspector was just there like an hour ago, but he was super happy. He came in and she showed him everything, and he said it was fine. By the way, the gloves, they're not mandatory. So when you come in, my hairdresser asked me if I want that she wears gloves. In an article I read that actually it's not the best thing because if people wear gloves, they tend to wash their hands less often. So, if you don't imagine if you're wearing gloves, but you're still touching all the surfaces, you have the bacteria and viruses on the gloves. So
yeah, that's a good point. That is a
then
good
I just
point.
told her, I'm fine. You don't need to wear gloves. Masks are mandatory because then, of course, you can transmit. But with the hands, if you wash them, then that's fine.
Oh, wow, I hadn't thought of that. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, many think about the gloves, and when they see the gloves, they feel kind of secure. I think it's sometimes a false security. But yeah, no, it was good to be back in town to do something normal, to also support our hairdressers. And and many other things are also opened. Schools are back open, Anna Maria, and you have kids that are back in school?
Yes, I have one of them just restarted this week. She's super happy to go back to school, by the way. But it's also, she tells me, super weird because, her class has been split in two and they alternate days. So there's a couple of her girlfriends that aren't in her class now, so she doesn't get to see them. And then the desks, of course, are set 2 meters apart. So that's also very strange, and they can't be as in close contact with the teacher as they used to be. And so I mean, there's a lot of, and not to mention she's only going to school like half a day every other day. So a lot of things are still quite strange, I think, also for the kids. But yes, all that being said, she's happy to be back.
And talking about schools, our colleague Greta Rufino actually went to a school in the French-speaking part of Switzerland to find out more about that.
So she went to a secondary school. So we're talking about like preteens to teenagers, 12 to 15, more or less. And there it's also still these social distancing rules make for an odd dynamic. Things like the cafeteria being turned into a teacher's meeting lounge, basically, because the kids are not allowed to hang out in the school during the breaks. And I think, I think all of these things are, they're not easy for the kids. But in spite of this, she discovered that they are showing up to class. So kids are, regardless, they're happy to be back, it seems, and attendance is quite high. And most of the parents have decided to send their kids back to school. And more we're hearing that even before summer break, they could be back on a full-time schedule. But,
okay.
Here it is, week by week, right? We have to see.
Yeah. And then another thing that opened up that I find kind of weird were the gyms, the fitness studios.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you were there.
I went.
What is it like?
Yeah, I went to one of the studios on Monday, so the very first day when it opened. And I was quite surprised because, yes, you have to keep it 2 meters apart. Yes, there's disinfectant at the entry. But when you enter, it feels like a normal gym day. You see the people working out, and there were quite a few people, I think more or less about 20. The maximum is 80 in that particular studio that I went. And then the machines, you also have to have the 2 meters apart, which doesn't look like much if you're sweating.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wear masks. People just look, as you doing fitness as usual, maybe just with more distance. But they don't have any group classes. So the big aerobic classes, yoga classes, these are not taking place at the moment. And they also recommend you to take your showers at home so that the wardrobe, that not too many people are in there, and that you also already come changed. Yeah, and considering the infection rates going so down at the moment, it seems that it's okay. We never know, but yeah, we'll probably see in the next few weeks now after that whole reopening. Have you been to a restaurant, by the way, this week?
No, actually, not yet. Not
Me
yet.
neither.
But I've walked by a few, and you see the distance now. There's half the number of tables and like this, but no, not yet. Are you?
No, me neither. Me neither.
Are you planning? Do you have any plans?
Not yet. I might consider next week, so we have something to chat about.
Okay. All right, I'll be sure to hit a restaurant this weekend.
Let's do it.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, but AM worked on something else as well, our Safe 2020 initiative that we are supporting here at CNM Money Switzerland. If you have watched yes. If you have watched our weekend chats the last few weeks, then you saw that there is this movement, this platform called safe2020.org that is collecting all these good initiatives, positive initiatives that are happening now during the lockdown and after the lockdown because of coronavirus. And we are portraying some of the initiatives under that umbrella, AM, and you spoke to someone this week.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So this guy's name, he's a travel blogger. His name is Kash Bhattacharya, and he works for a budget traveler. And so, as the name implies, he puts together and takes and reviews low cost travel. And he's very passionate about hostels. And he got together with some friends, and they created a voucher platform called Adopt a Hostel, because so many of them, of course, are struggling during this time. And basically, the hostel owners can sell vouchers in order to support themselves.
200 hostels now on the platform from all over the world. And people can go on the platform, they can select a hostel from any of the cities involved. There's over 50 countries involved. And a lot of these hostels are places that I have visited, that we've all visited for many years, and they're people we know who will take great care of the travelers. And the other good thing is that if you buy a voucher, you're getting automatically a 10% discount on a normal rate.
So have you ever stayed in a hostel, TK?
I did. Yes, I have many times, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So me too. So you know that the part of the charm of the hostels is that social element, right? Of being together with people and sharing rooms and bathrooms and dining areas and bars and whatever the case may be, but always kind of that togetherness. So I asked him, in this time of social distancing, how could this have a negative effect on hostels, and maybe they lose their charm a little bit?
The essence of a hostel is its social aspect. But one of the things which I fell in love with hostels, and I still love them at the age of 41, is that the people who run these places are it's family run. It's a lifestyle choice. They're small, they're intimate. They're places where the people who run them really care about giving you the best possible experience of the city and really showing you the city in a way that nobody else will be able to, and giving you tips of their favorite places. So even if you take the social aspect away from a hostel, you still have that element of personal care. And also, when you stay in a hostel, you're directly investing in the local economy. And I think travelers in this post-COVID era will be more conscious about spending money in places where people really, it goes really into the local economy and about giving tourism a human face. And I think these hostels are important that they survive and they stay, because if you take hostels out of the infrastructure of a city, of a tourism experience, then you're left with just bland, often chain hotels, and who wants to stay in those?
So if you're passionate about supporting hostels that are going through a bit of a hard time at the moment, then just click on the website you see on the screen.
Yes, I'm going to definitely do that now that borders are open to Austria, Germany, and France here in Switzerland. I'm sure that there might be some hostels that we can support, AM.
Yeah, for sure. And also in the coming weeks, yours truly, I will also be looking into what people are going to be doing with these summer holidays now, right? Vacating versus traveling, and what makes the most sense, both financially and logistically. So we'll definitely have more on that in the next time we see you. And by the way, of course, cnnmoney.ch, our website. This is where you can find all of our content, including what you're seeing now and everything we've talked about. So feel free to visit. And on that note, TK, we're going to say goodbye, but I love this. This was your contribution of the week. Do give them a preview.
Exactly. So I found a video by the Holtner-Ness family here on Instagram. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much. Enjoy.
Each day is more like a creepy dream from a movie scene. All day at home with my family, can't see anyone. Put on pants, get the mail, turn around. Maybe go on a run. See a friend, dive away on the ground. I never shower in quarantine, it's bad hygiene. And now I've taken up gardening. Who have I become? Put on pants, get the mail, turn around.